Last year, 2 weeks post-marathon, I decided to come out here and run a 5k time trial. This year, I'm making it a mile. Now, I had fun with a mile time trial earlier this year during my 5k training block. I thought it would be fun to do it again. Difference is this time, I'm not in any type of fast, speedy shape. It's very windy, it's raining. This is going to be interesting. We're going to get the warm-up done and I'll explain what the plan is. Now actually, just before we head up that way, up the estate, where I started the mile time trial last year, I'm trying to assess what way the wind is going. Now, I kind of feel like I have a bit of a tailwind this way, which is concerning because that means that I will probably end up starting up this way and go this way. I do not want to do this into a strong headwind, so I'm going to get part way up here, turn around, come back to here, and assess how bad the headwind is coming that way. If it's not too bad, we'll roll with the normal route. If it's not, we'll flip it around. Right, warm up done. Didn't feel too bad when I turned around on the main stretch of the estate over there. So I thought, oh, it's just a mild breeze. We shouldn't be too bad. Come up this end of the estate where I'm going to be starting just over there. And as we run down sort of this section and out that way, there's a bit of a stiff breeze, so it should be good fun today. Heart rate is through the roof, as it has been all week this week as I've got back into things. So basically last week I took a full week off and I've just got back into things. No doubles this week, just finding the rhythm again. So the shoe choice today is going to be the Streak Fly. I used this back in May or April, whenever the time trial was, and I haven't touched it since. I've done a couple of small workouts with it, but it's just laid dormant collecting dust. And honestly, I loved it back then when I used it. So I wanted to get it back now for another spin. And so what's the purpose of this madness today? Well, just to have a little bit of fun. We're getting back into training next week. I always love to use these down periods just to do stuff that I wouldn't normally do. I had great fun doing a mile time trial last time. First time I've ever done it, actually. I have done a mile race many years ago, but it was good fun to come out here and just rip a mile. That's all I want to do today. In terms of my expectations, I think if I broke 5 today, I'd be lucky. Last time I ran 4:53. I'd got 4 weeks of 5k training under my belt. It was a bit of a mid-block tune-up, just see how things were feeling. And obviously, ultimately, I went on to run 15:44 at the end of that block. So a good 5k PB, very happy with it, but I was obviously in some kind of shape back then. Having run a marathon, not run for a week, and now trying to get back into it with a very high heart rate, I think today might be interesting. So very limited expectations, just want to go out there and have a bit of fun. We're going to whack the head cam on. I'm going to talk you through this. So let's get this one underway, making sure no cars are coming because this first stretch is on the road before we get to the pavement, and we are off. Let's get this one going. Now, spoiler alert, I knew the pain of this. I remember it well from back in April. By 800 meters, I was in a world of pain compared to then. Obviously not conditioned to this sort of stuff, but that was not going to stop me from giving this one a good go. Hopefully less than 5 minutes worth of running here. Let's get stuck in. So I remember from last time splitting about 72 seconds for the 400 roughly. I checked the watch shortly after the 400 meter mark on this course and it was registering around that 72 pace. I worked that out afterwards. So my goal here was to make sure I was ready to check that 400 meter split and see if I could get anywhere near 72. If I could, I knew that I could potentially go sub 5 here. And we hit it, 400 meters in 72 seconds, absolutely brilliant. I knew the next split at 800 meters was 2:28, so I'd slowed last time significantly, obviously ran 72 and then 76. So the goal here was to try now and not slow too much. I had it in my head at this point that I thought if I was anywhere near 72 for that first 400 split, then today I could have a good crack. If I was completely off it and nowhere near it, it was going to be a bad day. But as we hit it, there's no time like the present to give it a good go. So aiming to try and hit that 800 meter mark a little bit quicker than 2:28. And there we go, we hit it, 2:26. I was delighted when I saw this on the watch, but I'm going to be honest with you, I was working way harder than I did back in April. And at this point, I knew that when we got to the end of this straight here and we hit the cattle grid, it was uphill to the finish. My legs were feeling strong, everything else in my body was telling me to stop. I knew this was going to be a tough second half. And here we go, the final section. I'll let you listen to some of this breathing and we'll roll this right through to the end. The legs were feeling strong, I was really grateful for that, but everything else was falling apart. However, I will say, in terms of my overall form, it felt really good. Street flies really do keep me on my toes, and I was hoping I could do this for the last section. $450. Wow. Wow. I have not had that burn in the body for a very long time, since pre-bicarb days. I didn't have bicarb today. The arms are so heavy. That was, I'm over the moon with that. I'm not gonna lie, that wind was annoying. A lot of pavement hopping off and on, slippery leaves. Yeah, was that 3 seconds quicker than last time? Happy days. Gonna do a nice 3x K at threshold now, just to kind of extend this a little bit, flush things out a bit, keep it nice and controlled. Street flies though, brilliant shoe. There we go. That was a good workout, wasn't it? That was a good little fun time trial. That went far better than expected. The wind actually picked up more during those K reps than it did during the mile time trial, which is good. Obviously got it right at the sweet spot And yeah, felt strong from start to finish. I feel like I was breathing harder earlier than last time, definitely by 800 meters. When I saw 2:26 as a split, I thought, oh, this is tasty. But in that final 800 meters, I know it's uphill, but yeah, I just felt quite strong. Even though breathing was crazy, I had it in the legs. So that's marathon training for you. That's why I like to do marathons, even though I'm not particularly the best at them. I always find I get good benefits from them, and I think over the next few weeks, hopefully, we'll start to reap the rewards from that. I walk this way so the sun's not behind me. I'm going to walk backwards, nothing coming. So yeah, overall, really happy with that. Really good time trial, really good session, feeling good and ready to start training again next week. I'm going to change back into the Puma now, get a little jog home done, and wrap this week up. I don't know, what was it, about 30-ish miles or something. Fun little time trial in there, and then we can roll into next week where we start to really lay down some strong foundations this winter into next year. So I appreciate you guys tuning into this one. Clearly it makes you run fast. Stay tuned for an announcement on this coming soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you missed the marathon video, I'll make sure I leave a link on screen up here. Check that one out. Got a marathon PB, very happy with that. And if you enjoyed that one, I'll make sure I leave a link down here to the last time trial in the Nike Street Fly. By the way, fantastic shoe, as I've already mentioned, and I'll see you guys over on one of those.